All right, and the roll down continues on the Green Wine Summit. And I have a good friend with me here, Ziggy the Wine Gal. Ziggy's done some great things in the wine industry, but exciting lately. She just was the sommelier for Journey's big international tour, the band Journey. I'm sure you know who they are. And also radio host, you do the Wine Country Radio, so that airs on 4 stations. I think it's also syndicated, right?
Right. So you can hear me from coast to coast, and the show also streams online. So I'm pretty busy in the world of wine.
Yes, and doing great things, but always having a good time.
Always having a good time. And my live show on Wednesday morning called Wine Wednesday, I have a special segment on that show called The Green Vine Scene, where I specifically focus on things that are above and beyond what I call just the average sustainability. So things that companies and wineries that are going above and beyond just to make a difference. So.
Well, let's get to those in a minute. Let's talk about that. Who right now? Give us give us 2 examples of wineries, vineyards, anybody who's doing something that you really think is exemplary.
Well, I mean, you've got the staples like Paul Dolan and Jim Fetzer, and these guys have been, they've been the leaders really in going above and beyond sustainability. And then you've got a lot of folks that are just coming onto the scene now. I mean, you go just to, for example, the Dry Creek region. You go up and down Dry Creek Road now, and I can go this side, that side, this side, that side. All these wineries are going organic and biodynamic. So you look at like McUnty, in Georgia, that are now farming biodynamically, and they're certified. You've got, folks that, like Kivera, that's also going biodynamic. You've got Michelle Schlumberger, you've got Lou Preston. I mean, all those guys are really the heart and soul of Dry Creek Valley, and it used to be 5 years ago you could drive through there and hope to find something organic, and now it's on every side of the road. So, and then of course you drive through the artery of 12 and go down to Sonoma Valley, and you've got the Benzigers. I mean, those guys are awesome. I mean, they really farm for flavor, and they're making a difference really in the world of wine and what we're getting on the shelf to consumers. So.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah.
I know. There's so many now to talk about, where it used to be just a handful, and you are talking about the leaders, but a lot of the young growers and the younger people in the wine industry are really it's kind of automatic for them. They wouldn't think about doing it any other way.
That's right. And you know what? They're used to seeing that, kind of lifestyle too. So they've kind of grown up with something new and something different, and something they're not afraid to innovate, and they're definitely more approachable if you want to talk to them about new things than some of these winemakers that have been making wine for 50 years that are kind of like, well, I've always done it this way. But, actually that reminds me, there's an old farmer up in Mendocino County called Charlie Barra, who just finished his 62nd harvest.
Wow.
Okay? And I asked him, I said, Charlie, have you always farmed organically? And he said, well, Ziggy, I've always farmed organically. The first 40 years, I didn't even know it. I mean, and he's just this pistol. You love this guy, and he's just always done the right thing because that's just the way it was to be done. And, bridging the gap between wine and music, which is what I've been really known to do this last couple of years, especially touring with a lot of these bands. You'd be surprised on a lot of these road trips how these big rock bands are really trying to make that difference backstage. Try to make it more green, more sustainable. And I've implemented that in my wine programs for bands like Journey and also for Heart. Talking to Heart about some of the wines that they like to enjoy. And, just about winemaking differences. And a lot of these guys are really into wine, but they have no idea really what the green wine movement's all about. So being there to personally kind of educate them and talk to them and get them hip to the deal of what's happening in the world of green and wine.
Yeah, it's nice though when you get the kind of these iconic American stars.
Oh, I know.
Adopted, and I mean that's kind of one of the fastest ways to flip the switch in America, isn't it?
Well, and they're icons, so everybody looks to them, and it's like, okay, well, if you see somebody like Jonathan Cain from Journey, drinking organic wine and promoting it, look who's going to follow. I mean, he has thousands and thousands, millions of fans that are going to go, wow, organic, I'm going to look for that. So next time I'm in the restaurant that I like to go and have dinner at or enjoy a glass of wine at my local bar, I'm going to look for that too. So I think it's all about kind of, looking to see who else is doing it. And really, for me, the heart of it is doing it because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing for the planet, it's the right thing for the earth, and it's the right thing as we move forward into, this new year, thinking about forward ways of doing business.
Cool. Now here's where I throw the hard ball at you. Okay,
Bring it on.
Here comes the hard ball. What is your like number one takeaway from the Green Wine Summit this year? Is there something that really you found inspiring, or something fresh and new? Was it an overall thing? What did you get out of this?
For me, it was a treat to be able to go to all these seminars and not be the one leading the seminar. I'm always the one giving the seminar,
right.
leading the seminar on the panel. So for me, sitting out in the audience and soaking it all in was such a treat. And I actually picked up something from every seminar that I went to today. And I really, if I have to get inspired about any one thing, it would be pretty difficult. But I do have to say there was a chain restaurant here that has like 188 restaurants all over the country. Mm-hmm. And to hear their wine buyer, their corporate wine buyer, talk about doing organic wines on her wine list got me more excited than I can tell you.
Yeah, we can name drop, right? It's okay to name them, isn't it?
P.F. Chang's.
Okay.
And I know Paul Fleming and his wife, so, I was just thrilled to hear that she's actually considering it, because there are a lot of chain restaurants out there that won't even let organic in the door because they're still afraid of it. But you know what? Those are folks that need to be more educated. And I feel like that's my job on my radio shows, is to hit people to the deal of, right. Don't be afraid of organic, embrace the organic, you know? So, and there's a lot of other fabulous conversations about, just the marketing aspect of green, and, not to over-green people, and what that means. And I think that's really important, and people should be really paying attention to that. We get so used to it in California, green, green, green. But, when I travel all over the world, people are still a little bit afraid of the green, or they feel like, they don't really know which way to go with it. So there was a lot of good topics this year at the conference. Can't wait till next year.
That's great. And so December 1st and 2nd, again, in 09. So we're actually going to be on a Tuesday and Wednesday next year. And of course, now after the over-greening thing, Jonathan, I think that we're going to have to erase a bunch of tape. So let's just go ahead and hit the delete button, and we'll see you next year.